that you can use to analyze a region or a submarket or a collection of submarket. It's going to tell you what kinds of properties sell, what kinds of properties sell most often, where they sell the most often. We kind of started with DFW West. So DFW West is just Tarrant County, Texas, and we've included Denton County as well, so the city of Denton. And then we go as far out as Walsh Ranch, Lido, Arlington. So it goes back to January 1, 2020, and as recent as 12/31/2024. So we're getting a full 5 years of activity here, and it's going to capture single family, townhome, and condo. This section has a few things you can do to change the data and give you a different picture. Whatever you change here will show up in these charts and graphs and in the hard data as well. So here, this is the ecosystem. We've defined ecosystems in 3 categories. You got urban centers, you have suburbs, and you have exurbs. And then all housing is currently selected, so that's just going to show you everything regardless of ecosystem. The market district, you can go with all housing. That's going to encompass all of DFW West, or you can go with any given submarket. In the key tab, we've defined these submarkets. We've defined them. So you got Aledo as an exurb, whereas Azle is an exurb. You have Colleyville is a suburb. Okay, and then we'll go back to the overview tab here. So I have Aledo selected. If we were to go to Colleyville, the data is going to change. Most of these data tables and charts and graphs are going to change. There you go. And then I have single family, and I have 1900 plus, meaning the year of construction is the year 1900 or sooner or more recent. So I'm going to go back to Aledo here, and we can use that as a good test case to kind of walk through all of these data graphs. So you can see in Aledo, this is a really simple graph. This is telling you what the average sales price is across the markets. This is average sales price. This is navy blue line is year-over-year change, and then the light blue line is year-over-year volume in terms of percentage. And so you can see in Aledo, back in 2020, the average all year was 450,000 around there. And then that is now 666,000. Too many sixes in there, but it is what it is. And then the past 5-year average is 570K. You can see that volume actually went down across that time as a percentage of the prior year's volume. So there was quite a bit happening in 2020, no surprise. And then 2022, a little less. Interest rates went up. 23, full effect of Fed action, most likely. And then, but you still have a lot of price appreciation during that time between 21, 24. It's remarkable. And, I think this is a function of new construction, that's happening in Aledo as well. So that's an interesting chart. This one, another simple chart. It actually stems from this section. We wanted to show the entire region versus Aledo and then another market of your choosing. So you can go and pick another market, and this other market is just going to show up in these 2 charts. So it's kind of a versus analysis. So you can see we picked a Benbrook. Aledo, as we just saw, average sales price going way up. It was going up quite a bit. That was 10% a year, over 10% a year for quite a while. Well, for a couple years in a row, anyways. Benbrook, not as much. It still went up from below 300,000 to beyond 400,000 over the 5-year period. And these are generally laid out quarterly. This is quarterly volume. So you can see Aledo is surpassing Benbrook in both volume and average sales price. DFW regionally is also represented here in the middle. So that's kind of the average growth in DFW West. We could also compare it to Colleyville. Let's do that real quick. Just look at Colleyville as well. So you can see Colleyville way up there on price. Not a shocker. Way, not quite there on volume compared to Aledo. Let's go to Burleson. So Burleson and Crowley, even more stark comparison. stark difference than Aledo there. And then we can go to Denton. Let's go to Denton real quick. Take a look. Denton, a lot more volume. Not surprising, it's a bigger market. Probably not appropriate to lump Denton into one category because it's so much. But prices in Aledo are pretty good. Let's go to Eagle Mountain. That's like a suburb or an exurb, small exurb. So you can see price action there, 300 to 400. It seems like most markets went from somewhere around 300K to somewhere around 400K on average over the 5 years. Eagle Mountain's been kicking butt, taking names the last couple of years compared to Aledo. There's just so much land over there. Makes sense. All right, so that's kind of a way to, and this just shows you percentages real quick. So over the 5 years, it's showing you that the change was 30% versus Aledo is 49% change in ASP. So you can do that with any market as long as the data's dropped in. Again, we only dropped in the west side, DFW. It's such a big market. We wanted to keep it simpler. So this is another good chart. Again, this is Aledo only. I should probably make that clear. It's not the region. You can see that most sales are taking place 3 to 400,000, or maybe 3 to 500,000. Obviously, that's probably where the most of planet Earth takes place, or at least the United States. And then the days on market hovers somewhere around, this is over here, around 60 days on average, unless you get up into the Uber territory. If we change this to, let's call it, I don't think I got Flower Mound in there. Maybe I do. Maybe we do. Flower Mound? Yeah, we do. Okay, good. So if we change that to Flower Mound, days on market is 30 days, closer to 30 days. Price action's still the same, but you have kind of a longer slope, so there's more expensive homes going in over there. Let's go back to Aledo real quick. Let's watch this change. Yeah. So the volume is just significantly higher in Aledo. This was, around here was about 600. So way different. But, and maybe we could do Flower Mound here and see what happens. Yeah, Flower Mound, Louisville. Lumped Louisville in, so not surprising the volume is way more than tiny Aledo. Price action, Louisville kind of levels it out, but both are above average. So this is a good one. This is days on market. This kind of, or rather monthly volume. This kind of shows the seasonality in Aledo. Minimum volume, maximum volume. This is going to show you days on market for single family versus townhome versus condo, if there are any. So you can kind of see single family clears quicker in Aledo. And then this is ASP per foot by property type. Another demand curve. It's just ASP per foot, where the most of these take place is 2 to 250. We can see that pretty clearly. This is rolling year-over-year volume as a percentage. So that's just last year, or this year over last year as a percentage. So you can see 22, way more sales closed, 30% more. And then fell way down. Now, end of the year, we got it climbing back up in closer to 20% year over year. So Aledo's picking back up. These go into details on the unit types, bed bath types, and then price range for those bed bath types. So you can see the average or the price range for 4x3, that's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, is maybe 300,000 to over $1.3 million. It's a pretty big range. And I bet you that changes if we bring this into 2020s only. So let's see what the 2020s give us. So this is only the 2020s. So you can see over here the most volume is taking place at a much higher price point. You got a lot more volume. You got kind of a 45-degree angle instead of kind of flat and declining when we filtered by just the 2020 era. And then you can see it's still a pretty tight range there. But you can see this is volume by floor plan. So this is the same idea, but over time, and it's volume instead of ASP, high-low range. So you can see in Aledo, most sales are taking place. Most sales that take place are 4-bedroom, 3-bath. We're not getting into half bathrooms here. Data I think is available. We didn't pull it down and drop it in. So that's interesting. Volume by unit size and price range by unit size. I think this is really cool. So it just shows you bands for every 100 square feet or 50 square feet or whatever you want to show. We can change this interval to start higher and to be 200 square foot intervals or 50 square foot intervals, but I think this is pretty good. So, you know, all of these homes are really kind of in this 150 to 350, 375 band. Seems like most don't go above or below that until you get to this territory. And for whatever reason, I don't know, this just looks like bad data plugged in there, but for whatever reason, this is a popular or more sensitive to price. This interval 2250 to 2350. It's a good place to build. And then volume by unit size, so you can see most sales are taking place way up here. And again, we can change this if we haven't already done that. Yeah, so what we could do is go to the worksheet. If we want to see volume by unit size, we would find that. And that would be right here. So what I want to do here is, yeah, we want to see 100 square feet intervals up to 3,000. Maybe even more, but we'll leave it at that. Yeah, so now we can kind of see it's, you know, most popular is, again, that seems like there's some sensitivity here. All right, and then this is ASP range by year built. The newer you are, the more expensive you can be. Makes sense. And then this is when you have all housing selected, you can go and look at the markets side by side and see how they all compare and contrast. So I'll just do that really quickly. I'll go up to all housing and pick that, and then I'm going to go way back down and kind of let it think for a second. There you go. So now you got probably could get the data labels going on this, so you can actually see things a little more clearly. But you know what I'll do is just change. I'm gonna look at it in terms of 250,000, maybe 500,000. Stretch this a little bit. Just move this bad boy over. Stretch it a little more. There we go. Give it some space. So you can kind of see it a little bit better anyways. Just where things are. Obviously Colleyville, pretty steep in Colleyville. Flowermont Louisville's up there. Grapevine gets where's that? Gets to mid-millions. Keller's up there. So it's really like Lake Worth. I mean, that's a tight band. There's a lot of older homes there. Anyways, this gives you a good overview of what's going on. And I know you guys are trying to make things happen. You're trying to understand your markets a little bit better, what sells best, and especially when you want to enter into a new market, this can be a robust way. It can also allow you to dig into the micro data. We have a competitive set analyzer as well that will pick out 10 similar transactions. It'll look at other builders, it'll look at resales, things like that. So just wanted to make sure you had a chance to see this.